What's up, everyone? Welcome to the first episode of GMO Experts.
I'm Sean Borromeo and I will be your host for today.
I'm Colapo.
And I'm Sanchez.
And we will be joining Sean as your co-host for the very first episode of this podcast.
So, for today's very first episode, we will be diving into a very interesting GMO, and that is pink pineapple. Yung pineapple na may pink flesh. It's not just a pretty fruit, it's making waves in how we think about food security.
Tama ka dyan, Sean. This is more than just a culinary curiosity. It's a product of genetic engineering and it raises important questions about agriculture and sustainability.
Exactly. And with the growing global population, we really need to discuss how such innovation can help us address food security. So, simulan na natin?
Sandali lang. I'm sure the three of us know what a GMO is. But I think we should talk a bit more about what that is to first give our audience a little bit more knowledge on what it is about. So ano ba yung GMO, guys?
So, a GMO, or better known as a genetically modified organism, is an organism whose genetic material has been altered using genetic engineering techniques. This process allows scientists to introduce, eliminate, or modify scientific traits in the organism's DNA to suit the current needs of any society.
Also, alam nyo rin ba guys, ang daming types of GMOs. Like, merong plants modified for traits like pest resistance. Think of corn and soybeans. Then there's animals like genetically engineered salmon, which grow faster than their non-GMO counterparts. Also, microorganisms are modified to produce things like enzymes or even medicines.
So, before we move on to segment number 1 on what is GMO pink pineapple, let us take a short break. Okay, to kick things off, ano nga ba ang GMO pink pineapple? Wesley, can you give us a brief background?
Sure. The GMO pink pineapple, also known as the pink glow pineapple, was developed to have a sweeter taste and more vibrant pink color, which is a result of genetic modifications. It's engineered to produce higher levels of lycopene, a natural antioxidant that gives tomatoes and watermelons the distinct red color.
Wow, interesting. So aside sa color niya, is it also healthier compared to the regular pineapple?
In a way, it is. Since it has higher levels of lycopene, it has more health benefits compared to the yellow pineapple. Though other than that, not much is different between the pink and yellow pineapples other than the color and sweetness levels.
That sounds really fascinating. So Sean, aside from its sweetness and color, what about its nutritional benefits? How does it compare to the regular pineapple?
Well, the GMO pink pineapple contains higher levels of antioxidants, specifically in lycopene, which may offer additional health benefits, such as reducing the risk of certain diseases. Plus, it has similar vitamin content to regular pineapple, including vitamin C and dietary fiber.
That's promising, huh?
Also, there are a few studies showing that lycopene can contribute to heart health and may even have cancer-fighting properties. However, ongoing research is needed to fully understand the long-term effects of consuming GMO foods. I have a question though. What about the environmental impact? How does growing pink pineapples compare to traditional farming methods?
So, as far as I know, konti lang ang nagbago sa farming methods for pink pineapples. For most of the process, the same things happen, meaning not much has to be changed to the environment to farm such fruits.
That's definitely a plus. Pero guys, alam nyo ba, may nabalita ako na may consumer concerns tungkol sa pink pineapple. Some consumers are skeptical about GMOs in general. Concerns range from safety and health risk to ethical implication of genetic modification. Transparency in labeling and education is crucial to address these concerns.
Absolutely! Nabalita ko din yun. It's important to keep the dialogue open. But lastly, where can people find GMO pink pineapples? Are they widely available? Kasi I'm so curious about it and its taste. Gusto ko yun matikman.
Well, as of now, they're mainly available in Costa Rica, Canadian, and US markets. They're only available in these places so far as these pineapples are only grown on Costa Rican farms and approved for distribution in Canada and the United States. However, as consumer interest grows, we may even see them appear in more locations in the future.
Great insights, Wesley. It sounds like the GMO pink pineapple has a lot to offer, and the conversation around it is just the beginning.
So before we move on to segment 2 on food security and GMO and segment 3 on benefits and controversies, let us take a very, very short break. So now, let's talk about food security. Food security means having reliable access to a sufficient quantity of affordable and nutritious food. So, ano ba ang role ng GMO sa aspect na ito? Alam mo ba yun, Zach?
In many cases, GMO crops are created to help increase yield and reduce crop loss due to pests and diseases. This means more food can be produced in the same amount of land using the same amount or even less resources, addressing hunger and resource issues, especially in developing countries.
Tama. And this is even more applicable to resources katulad ng tubig at pesticides. Kahit sa mga lugar na may limited access lang sa water supply, GMO crops play a crucial role in closing the hunger gap.
So ito, while there are benefits, may mga controversies din regarding GMOs. Wesley, ano ang mga concerns na madalas naririnig natin?
Maraming nag-aalangan sa safety ng GMOs. There are concerns about potential health risks at environmental impacts. For instance, may nag-aalala about cross-contamination with non-GMO crops and the loss of biodiversity.
Uy, wag rin natin kalimutan ang mga ethical concerns ha. 'Di ba? Some people just prefer natural farming methods.
Exactly. It's a complex issue. While GMOs can provide solutions, it's essential to approach the topic with a balanced perspective, weighing the pros and cons.
Though it seems that pink pineapples don't exactly fall under the same circumstances as other GMOs. Di kagaya ng ibang GMO, pink pineapples are practically the same as its yellow counterparts.
What? Really ba? Paano?
Di ko alam. Paano nga ba, Wes?
For starters, pink pineapples only had 3 genes changed, none of which changed the safety and nutritional values of the fruit. Using the yellow pineapple as the parent fruit, researchers then bred it with other pineapples and tangerines to give the pink pineapple a slightly sweeter and pinkish interior. Slight changes were also made to the pineapple skin and growth. Ayun lang, para lang sa aesthetic purposes.
That's really fascinating. So it sounds like the modifications are quite minimal compared to other GMOs that can involve more significant genetic changes. Does that mean the pink pineapple is generally accepted more readily by consumers?
Well, yes, in many cases, it's presented more as a novelty fruit rather than a typical GMO. Because the health and safety aspects are not significantly altered, some consumers are more open to trying it. Plus, the unique color and sweetness of the fruit can draw interest.
That makes so much sense. Though, even if minimal changes were made to the overall fruit, there are still some things that manufacturers need to take into account. Like, what about labeling? Should consumers know when they're purchasing something like the pink pineapple to make informed choices? Because I think so, right?
Definitely. You guys always need to remember, transparency is key, especially when it comes to GMOs. Even if only little changes were made, it's important that manufacturers include all the needed information related to the GMO. Many consumers want to make informed decisions about their food, so proper labeling can help them choose what they feel comfortable eating.
Agreed. It's essential for building trust between manufacturers and consumers. If people understand what they're buying, they can appreciate more the science that goes into developing these products.
And while we're on the topic, what about the market for these genetically modified products? Considering all the controversies relating to GMOs, are consumers willing to pay a premium for something like pink pineapples, or is there any resistance?
Well, studies have shown that some segments of the market, especially health-conscious consumers, may be willing to pay for more unique and perceived healthier products. However, there's a segment that remains skeptical about GMOs overall, which means that pricing and marketing strategies will be crucial.
That's true. Plus, as consumers become more educated about these kinds of products, their willingness to accept and even prefer GMOs might change in the future. It's all about effective communication and education on the part of the manufacturer.
This really emphasizes the importance of discussion, right? Whether it's through public forums or like social media or even educational campaigns. Opening the dialogue can help address concerns and highlight benefits, right, guys? Do you agree with me?
Exactly. The more informed people are, the less fear and misinformation there will be. And ultimately, it could lead to a more balanced perspective on GMOs and their role in our food systems.
Real. As you navigate the complexities of GMOs, it's important to keep discussions going and encourage collaboration among scientists, policymakers, and consumers.
Before we go to the last segment of this podcast on the real world impact of this GMO pink pineapple, let us take a short break. I think kailangan din nating mapag-usapan ang impact ng GMO pink pineapple sa real world. For instance, how could this innovation affect farmers and consumers?
Great question, Sean. For farmers, growing GMO crops like the pink pineapple can mean higher profit and fewer losses, which can improve their livelihoods. For consumers naman, it offers a new choice in the market.
And of course, hindi lang ito tungkol sa profits. Sustainable practices can lead to healthier ecosystems, which is essential for long-term food security. So, in conclusion, the GMO pink pineapple shows how science can contribute to addressing the pressing issue of food security while adding variety to our diets.
Tama ka dyan. It also emphasizes the importance of informed decisions. We should be aware of the benefits and risks associated with GMOs.
Absolutely. As consumers, staying informed allow us to make choices that align with our values, whether we prefer GMO, organic, or traditional products, and that knowledge can empower us to support innovations that can genuinely benefit food security and sustainability. Additionally, it's crucial for us to engage in discussions and encourage transparency and education around GMOs. With open dialogue, we can dispel myths and better understand the science behind these advancements. Ultimately, the aim should be a balanced approach that incorporates modern technology while respecting traditional agricultural practices. By doing so, we can create a more resilient food system that benefits everyone. So, everyone, let's continue to explore and challenge our understanding of GMOs and other agricultural innovations as we strive to ensure a sustainable future and food production. And as consumers, policymakers, and scientists work together, we can pave the way for dietary innovations that not only taste great but also contribute to the well-being of our planet. This ongoing conversation about GMOs like the pink pineapple is just the start of a broader dialogue we all need to participate in. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We hope you learned something new today about GMO pink pineapple and its role in food security. Until next time, I'm Sean.
I'm Wesley.
And I'm Zach.
And we are the GMO experts.